What's up, ladies and gentlemen? As the title say, why am I even thinking of selling my house after just 3 years of ownership? Isn't it too soon? And what could possibly make sense selling your house during high interest rates and slowing home sales? Hi, my name is Alex. I make Greenland known on the internet when the weather allows filming out in our rough conditions. And I also talk about real estate, being a real estate investor myself, currently with a small company residing in Nuuk, Greenland, where we rent out smaller homes for people. And I also happen to do some house hacking in my own house, where I rent out 2 rooms. I'm also not a financial advisor, so this video is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you very much. So back in 2019, I bought a townhouse in Nuuk, Greenland. You can watch the video I made of it up here. I purchased it in order to get into real estate myself, which I had always wanted to do. So what I'm doing now is renting out rooms in my own house in order to lower my living expenses and to be independent of my job, whom I happen to rent another apartment from before. Now, 3 years later, after my purchase of my townhouse, I'm basically thinking of selling it. For the last 3 months, I've been thinking very, very hard about this decision, as it is a big decision. But for the reasons I'm going to lay out now, hopefully it can give you my perspective on the situation and help myself by saying the words to myself into a camera. So if you're with me, hit the like button and be prepared to why the heck am I gonna trying to sell my house. Reason number 1 is to buy more rental properties. I own a real estate company that rents out properties in Nuuk, Greenland, and by selling my personal home, which I own personally, not through the business, I would be able to take that money and then put it into a new rental property instead. So in order to scale and buy more rental properties, not having a personal home and lots of debt that comes with that, by owning your personal home, I would be able to scale faster, hence buying more rental properties quicker. Banks are usually more tempted to loan you money if you have a case that produces money, instead of you just borrowing maximum amount so you can buy a big mansion for yourself. Ideally, I would then be able to buy one property, renovate it, rent it out to another tenant, refinancing it, and then pulling out the money I initially put into the deal, hence making me able to go from deal to deal to deal. That could be one way to do it. I haven't figured it out myself yet, but that could be one way. And I kind of like a project like that, having to fix and do some stuff. I'm missing like a big project. Unfortunately, I'm not able to take my own house right now and put it into my business as a rental property and then just moving out of it and just renting it out to someone else, because this housing association doesn't allow companies to own any of the townhomes here in this block of 42 townhomes. So I either have to sell it or eliminate 100% of the debt. And eliminating 100% of the debt would be kind of unrealistic and also wouldn't really serve that much of a purpose. Then we have a good one, the rising interest rates. And why would that be a good idea to sell now? Let me tell you, if you have followed the news lately, you have probably seen or heard that the interest rates on mortgages around the globe has risen quite a lot lately, which is bad. I mean, it kind of slows down home sales and the party is over officially. But if you happen to buy a cheap loan when the loans were very cheap here in Greenland, they were as low as 0.5% interest for a 30-year fixed mortgage, you are sitting in a pretty good position at the moment because you are able to buy back that loan at a lower bond price. Because bond investors are not interested in a mortgage rate of, let's say, 0.5%, and then you add on top of that the stuff the mortgage company has to get. So you're ending out on the loan that I got on a rate of 1.6%. And the current mortgage rates are around 5 to 6% at the moment. But if you locked in a low interest rate mortgage, at least in Greenland and Denmark, you are now able to buy back your own loan at a cheap bond price. Because let's face it, bond investors are not interested in getting 1.6% when they can go somewhere else and get 6 point something in interest rate for other mortgages at the moment. hence lowering the bond price of the 1.6% bond. So, for example, if you locked in the low interest rate mortgage, let's say at 190,000 US dollars, you would now be able to buy back that bond at a bond price of 65, which would mean you would basically take off 35% of the total amount you were owing. So by either selling your house and then buying back your loan which you have, or by refinancing it, you would be able to lower the amount of money you were owing. Only caveat is that your home theoretically would fall in price as long as the interest rates are going up, because borrowing gets more expensive, and by refinancing it, you would now end up with a higher interest rate. But for me, I would like to buy more rental properties instead of having a home for myself. So being able to sell my house and taking out the money and putting it into new real estate would make the most sense for me. And the third reason for me to get out of my home would be that I would like to get into duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, whatever, like multifamily units. I'm currently in a townhouse which is all connected, and then we have a big housing association. And also with apartments, for example, housing associations demand so much, and it can be kind of bureaucratic at times. I mean, just getting a small thing fixed, that can be a pain in the... Another reason for me selling my house would be that I am 30. Yes, I know I am old. And there could possibly come a time in the future where I might not want to live with any roommates any longer. Hence, making the case for a duplex or a triplex or quadplex or larger that much more appealing. Because then I could live in one unit and then rent out the other separate units instead of having to live with roommates in my own unit, which I'm currently doing. And it's working fine. But I'm just trying to plan ahead because there might come a time in the future where I would want my own place to walk around. So still living close to the tenants, just not in the same house. Which is why multifamily properties are starting to sound really appealing, especially duplexes, because then I would get my own unit. Now, selling a home or refinancing or doing any of this paper money shuffling stuff is definitely a big decision, which needs lots of thought and lots of calculations in Excel sheets. Trust me, I have spent hours upon hours just putting in numbers in Excels, trying to make them work. And let's not forget that our home is probably our largest expense during a lifetime. So screwing up could definitely lead to big financial distress. So please don't do that. But I know there are also huge expenses related to either refinancing or selling a home. In my example, for refinancing to get the low bond price right now and then later on selling it would result in me paying upwards of $15,000 in fees and expenses and stamps and I don't know what. So it's expensive. It's a big decision. But as of the end of this week, I have probably already refinanced my house, and hopefully someone will be interested in my house. If you happen to know anyone interested in a home, my home is not on any real estate marketplace yet, but my home is for sale. I want 2.4 million Danish crowns for it. It has 83 square meters and 3 bedrooms. You can watch the video, which I mentioned earlier in this video. If you're interested, please just hit me up on Instagram or down in the comments. I read all of them. And last but not least, have you found yourself in a current situation as I am in right now, locking in a very low mortgage rate and then being able to either selling or refinancing? Please let me know. If you have any good tips or any good ideas to my current situation, I'm all ears and all eyes on your comments down in the description. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. This was a longer one. Please let me know if you enjoyed these videos compared to any other more adventurous videos about Greenland. I think I'm going to start incorporating more real estate, as I really hope that I can get that journey going and pushing on with some more rental properties in the future, renovating them and stuff. So if you want to follow along the journey, don't forget to subscribe either. See you in the next one. Okay, bye.